Hello, friends. Today we are going to discuss the chart of someone important, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Now, Arvind Kejriwal is one of the leaders which, in a realistic sense, India can see as the future leader of opposition, even a contender for being the prime minister. And I think everyone knows what happened with Arvind Kejriwal. Recently, there has been news that he received a court clearance. He was arrested, put in jail, then convicted for sort of tried in court for some corruption in uh, alcohol related corruption. So let's look at his chart in general and what are the periods that led to his downfall. He was put in jail, his chief ministership, he could not fight the election properly, and then he was all this stuff. So let's see what shows in his chart. First of all, very striking feature in his chart, which I always tell people in the prominent people, we always see this big houses. Big houses means many planets in one houses. You can see Sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto. In Leo, number 5, the sign Leo. It's in the 4th house, and all of the planets are looking at the 10th house. All these planets are looking at 10th house, right? And 10th house is the house of leadership. So, and leadership house, 10th house is in number 11, Aquarius, which will tell you that his style will be modern, it will be unconventional, and his work has been cutting edge. He's brought new hospitals, cutting edge things connected with medicine, education, health, so many things. Also, it's a very different style of governance which he brought into picture. So, someone with so many planets in Leo, which is the sign of leadership, will always have a very strong leader instinct. So, he's a very strong leader and very charismatic. Leo makes the person charismatic. Of course, the disadvantage with Leo is that they will fall, they are susceptible to things like praise. Praise and criticism will affect them a lot, right? So Arvind Kejriwal is known for that. He will make emotional statements, things like that, because fourth house is so strong. Fourth house is the house of emotions. But look at the dasha. November 2019, he started something called as the Shani Mahadasha, Saturn period. His Saturn period started. Saturn, we can see, is in the 12th house. Saturn period 2019 onwards. So that is when his downfall started. Of course, he got an assembly term and all that. He became the prime chief minister. So we have to always remember that the periods will not directly, immediately come into force and destroy the people. They will come slowly, gradually also sometimes, depending on certain factors. Saturn is retrograde. We can see it's in the 12th house. It's already weakened. It's not in a good sign. So you won't believe, but in 2018 or 19, I had said to a friend that he was a fan of Arvind Kejriwal. I said to him, Arvind Kejriwal is in power, but right now he's entering Saturn Mahadasha. He may be even put in jail. I had said this literally. Of course, I didn't record it, but I had said this, and this came true because Saturn is the planet of restriction. Saturn is planet of restriction, and it is in the 12th house, the house of isolation. So you are restricted and isolated. That can happen in a hospital, in a jail, in an ashram. But he was put in jail by his political opponents. This happened literally, right? And what was the period that brought about this downfall and this negative, allegation against him? What was the period? Let's see. So the period was Saturn's transit through Aquarius. We know that Saturn was transiting through Aquarius in that period. So he was somewhere in the March of 2024. Arvind Kejriwal was arrested, put in jail, and then everyone said he's a fraud, because he's a cheater. He speaks about against corruption and then he himself does corruption, right? And that hampered his entire trajectory in the election. So 2 times chief minister and then completely going to zero because he was stopped, in his tracks by this allegation. So let's see, 2024 March was when he was arrested. Let's see what the transits were, 2024 March. Let me put the date and show you the transit. This is a software called Parashara's Light. Very good software if you want to learn seriously and practice astrology. So let's put 11th March 2024. It's going to be 2 years now. And in 2 years, he's got this victory. So you can clearly see Saturn is in the 10th house. Very important. Saturn in the 10th house, aspecting all these good planets in the 4th house. So whenever Saturn transits and goes over some planets, if it goes over moon, we call it Sadesati. But even if it goes over other planets, it is going to destroy, it is going to harm some way with regards to those planets. If it goes opposite to some planets, it will harm. If it goes, aspect some planets, also it will harm. The planets in your natal chart, when they get affected by the transit, it will create harm. So now let's see March 2024, what were his dashas when he got arrested? So the yoga for bandhana is already there for jail and all these kind of things because Saturn is in the 12th house. Saturn is ruler of 9th and 10th. The 9th house is ethics, 10th house is leadership. So his ethics as a leader were questioned and he was put in jail. That was the bandhana that happened. That was why he was jailed. But then he came out strong because Saturn makes you strong. It does not give you difficulties. Right? So Saturn, Mercury period, as we can see, and we know his Mercury is kind of well placed, being in a Kendra and all that. So he regained his strength, eventually. Now he's in a Ketu period. And in Ketu, he got justice. Ketu period, he got justice. Ketu Antardasha. Right? So now let me check the Pratyantar Dasha also. We see the major period, Mahadasha, sub period Antardasha, and sub period Pratyantar Dasha. So Pratyantar Dasha was moving from Mercury to Ketu in March. That was the period in which he got arrested. And if I'm not mistaken, Ketu at that time was probably in Libra, which is his 6th house, or something like that. Anyway, so Saturn transit is very important. Now Saturn has come out of his 10th house. Saturn was in the 10th house of leadership till last year. So he lost his leadership during that period. And now he has to work hard. Now we can see that he will again try to do his PR exercises, reach the people again, because Saturn is going through his 11th house. So he has to reinvent his PR game. He has to put himself back in the race, right? And that will happen during this period. That will happen. We will see it happening during this period. So, and some setbacks will come to him when Saturn goes over Rahu. Let's see which is this period in which he will have some more setbacks. Let me check. Let's go by month. No. Sorry. So right now Saturn is going through the 11th house. We can see Saturn movement. See Saturn crossing Rahu June 2026. So around May, June, July 2026, we can expect some more issues, some more problems. It is crossing Rahu, which is the co-lord of 10th house. So either he will have issues with authority figures, maybe they will try to reopen the cases or something like that. So he will have issues during the month of May, June, July this year, 2026. Of course, Jupiter is going to enter the 4th house. It's going to, in the 3rd house in Cancer, and it will aspect also this Saturn. So in a way, maybe it will not be major because Jupiter is aspecting the 11th house, but somewhere is image and something might come during this period of May, June, July 2026. I think next year, I'll tell you this period. Next year, we can see, next year, Jupiter will go into his 4th house. So when Jupiter goes to his 4th house, Jupiter going through 4th house, transit through the 4th house, we will see his rise from mid-2027 to mid-2028. He may gain power or his party might gain power somewhere. He will come into a good position. I don't know when is the election. Let me check. When is the next election, next parliament election in India? Let me check. Next parliament election, India is when? Next parliament election is, I think, yeah, April 2029. So we'll have to see between 2027 to 2028 which election he will fight. I don't think it's the national election, but it may be some other election that he may be fighting, right? So mid 2027 to mid 2028, another prediction we can easily make is that he will be able to gain some kind of power position, maybe his party, whatever prominence they will gain from mid 2027 to mid 2028. So if anyone is close to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, please tell him to contest election or whatever, take some major stand during the period mid 2027 to mid 2028 so that he can capitalize on this Jupiter period. My intention behind saying this is not just to benefit him, but to teach you how these predictions are made. You have to know how to predict. And when Jupiter is transiting the fourth house, it is a very potent period for this. Okay, are you understanding what I'm saying? Leave me a comment if you like these videos, if you think this is useful. So I'll be encouraged to do more. Mid 2027, mid 2028, we can see also it's his Venus period. Venus is between two malefics. It's in a Kendra. It is ruler of first, ruler of sixth. There will be some issues. But, the chances of gaining power are there for him. Then he's going into Surya Antardasha, September 29 to August 30. So Surya is power. It's in his own sign with two benefics, three benefics. So 2029, September to August 2030, this period, if the election happens, national election, I think national election took place last year, no? I think 2025. So 29-30, he has chances of even becoming the, till August 2030, he has chances of getting major power positions. Becoming an MP. I don't know about Prime Minister, but he can become an MP, become leader of opposition in the parliament. So I wish Mr. Arvind Kejriwal all the best. This is just a case study to show how I consult clients. And I have a lot of clients, some of them are in political positions and things like that. And this is how we guide them. This is how we help them to make the most of the good time periods in their life. So I hope this is helpful. There's a little bit what I have shown. I can discuss a lot more. If you have questions, put it in the comments, like, share, subscribe, and we shall discuss more about many charts like this. Cheers. All the best.